nyina ye nim se eye mekane se Bono regional chairman edema the New Patriotic Party Kwame Bafo Abronye ne ho ba nsem bi e wo kodwe mu ha ma ye che no esan nsem bi a okekan ye de fa judge ni pani bi ho e wo Ghana ha na ye remanded no ni ade no eche ne beto dwa se wa yare dendenden e ma ne yere e de nakopie mu e wo amanone. Little did we know se wasan be pie mu e wo Ghana hanum se nene wo kopie mu e wo high court anti e ba ne se ya che no ama ya san remanded on your screens as you can see or say Abronye DC remanded for 2 weeks enti na ni nyina efa eye Abronye chia ye che no ho na ne nsɛm a okokan ye edifa judge pani hu no enene ede no akwakodru ba bia wakodrei na okopie mu wo court na de see wo court no eno na aba betoja ebekwa akwhwe video of how things unfolded at the high court ene ebra Abronye ekopie mu wo court.
Go back. In right now.
Abusian video share no scenes from the high court ene ebra Abronye ekopie mu wo high court a opie ne san che no ye che ni wie nso ye hwe mu na che se ya man remand na watwi mienu a me no ka say de wo kwa akotwere a police for ekokumu until 2 weeks no na wasan kwa akopie mu wo court ma ye hu ba bia ne nsem no ebekwa akodro na ebeto odwa no we've seen a lot of reactions coming from the New Patriotic Party emu empenimfo ebi one person na waba kasa ediafa de ekoso no eho Dennis Edward Abuaje communications director edema Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia na ohye ne nsem a eno that screens so no say democracy and free speech under search entina che so mutema say de ke biba minke bi enya adwuma o Ghana habiem free speech nso enya adwuma o Ghana habiem now uche ne nsem ni mu into details so say these actions undermine the free speech and are setting Ghana's democracy backwards. I condemn in the strongest of terms the unholy collaboration between the executive, state investigative agencies, and some elements within the judiciary to use intimidation and harassment to silence members of the New Patriotic Party. And womo echemudia na se ni de kebima minke bia memo ni nya adwuma obia enni ni mfa nwodie so obetimi abo na adwene aka de ope na emom se omahu se meka ne se mpanimfo a wo mu ebu oman no ene agencies ahodo a wo mu ye nhwehwemu ene wo maka wo ho abom ene judiciary no ene wo maka wo abom a wo pese wo tete NPP amanyoko ni mu enkrofo se de be ya wo ntimi nkasa biem wo maka wo anu atomu prekope o say I therefore serve notice to officers of the state who are active participants in this unholy enterprise that the day of accountability will come and the abuse of state power will be accounted for. So chema say ya NDC for ayo madwene say wo mo ekura to me enti no other organizations ni ade nyina ehye executive no aseni ade enti wo mo kom ho abom no omo nkan hu no say eda bi beba o ma be bu ho akonta na sebe to me nso de ubetimi de aye de open na mbrepam no na ababa be chirim eno ne nsem aye Dennis Edward Abuaje wo de ababa betudwa sasem we wo tu free nsem a the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, wode etu edwa. Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kasa ensema wode abetu dwa no. Eno ene de ato o screens ne so ama nti we free the office of Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. Now, we say democracy and free speech under search na say eno ena Dennis Abuaje ebetu hu kakra de kire ye no o say I have observed with great concern the endless assault on the fundamental rights of officers, activists, and supporters of the new patriotic party across the country by the National Democratic Congress government. Inti ochemwa wadinani ato form Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ne kasei. Waso wadinani ato form ehun se no NDC aban no tietia NPP amanyoko na chita form fa hodie so. Amanfo wo mo ekabia ewo mu wo mo kasa editia niema enkoyie wo mani mu no. Omahun se NDC amanyoko no wo mo hye wo mo so tietia wo mo fa hodie. So I say these attacks, arrests, detentions, and unconscionable bail conditions have been a persistent feature of the NDC government since they took office on the 7th of January 2025. Into a chema, say attacking Crawford, chi wo mo tumuni ade nyina no ade any bail conditions bi ati se odwen ho a nyanse bi animu no ade omode omani atofo mahu se efibra ye de NDC amanyoko no etena mampani adwa so na se aban mu 7th January 2025 pe eno mo sha ase se wo mo ebo sa abra no. The latest of such acts of intimidation has been the arrest, detention, and subsequent release of David Esando for lamenting on social media about the return of Dumso and the bizarre decision to put the NPP Bono Regional Chairman Kwame Bafo Abronye into custody. Into a trema, dear Benye Hinianu ya and Anwada, David Esando, our mechanism NPP organizer Mumuba ko sebi woko posti se Dumso is back a no and no crowd jin wa wonti ase because Dumso asemi na national concern and no obi ekebio no kwa akoka bi no match no de na akwakotum na de twetwe aso kra NPP Bono Regional Chairman Kwame Bafo Abronye wono nso mo se match na tumu a sebi odwe ho a wonti ase Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na ekase o say these actions undermine free speech and are setting Ghana's democracy backwards. I condemn in the strongest of terms the unholy collaboration between the executive, state investigative agencies, and some elements within the judiciary to use intimidation and harassment to silence members of the New Patriotic Party. And to Ochema, the kwasone de onfuaso. Enti wo ma mpanimfo ehunu se omo yasa kebi ma menke bia memu no na sebe wo mo edi etwitwi fom anesa enti wo nipa bi a sebe wo de ne ntoma akobo oyonko entoma mu na wo mo edi sa sebe nyamrasem we no wo mo entwitwa so esanse yesa na chese NPP amanyoko ni mu achitaifo wo mo pese wo mo ka won hye na wo mo di wo mo fa yakayaka mu no wo mo tete wo mo Ghana has say, or say, I therefore serve notice to officers of the state who are active participants in this unholy enterprise that the day of accountability will come and the abuse of state power will be accounted for. Into a chema, pennyfo, umubu or mine say, no kind who say, to me, or 1 year, sabi, womo de tetim crofo crodium hano, and maybe beba. Or mo ebeba be buhun akunta. To patriots and around the country, I urge you all to stay firm by refusing to succumb to intimidation while continuing your civic duty to hold the government accountable to its promises. We fought hard for this democracy, and as a party, we cannot surrender to its intimidation from those who possess temporary power today. And Tinache so chema was a Ghana for nyina say, said the bre ye and sana ye di hunya ye found with dear Makebima Minkebia memo ye Juma Ghana Hanum say no. Yenya yenya bako na yen se ye nia ekwaso entwa ye wo man we mu no ye betimi abre no asekra e wo krodwe mu na wo mo asabi tumi ebedi wo mo nsem retia wa bi no ombehu se de wo ye e wo oman we mu no enya ade a etwa ye e wo krodwe mu hanom ese na wo sha krata no efi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enchen ena eba enti ena me ne wo kase die na chese Abronye chia ya cheno no na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia de ho nkrata aba beto montins na manfo chem se enye omonwanwa se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wetimi atebiri krata de aba beto montins so efa sa asem we enwezan se during the presidential primaries ni hu se de na Abronye wo tie Bawumia chi na wo bo Kennedy Japan echi saa enti ebe den na Bawumia emba meke bi emfa ma Abronye yo no ani nipa ebi ko echema. There have been times where Abronye have gone all off limit speaking about party or more party ni mu nsem a otimi se wakasa tia Kennedy Japan several times, and they've called say was say Bawumia etimi call Abronye to order because Abronye is in his camp any ade but ye hu. And so enney yenya eche Kwame Bafo Abronye Bunu regional chairman edema the New Patriotic Party no all of a sudden Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia etimi abetro brofo call say we mechanism intimidation and harassment on NPP supporters activists any ade a wo call say penifo mu bu o man no enhwe na wo mo enye bribi emfa ebi che say Bawumia he's more or less being like a hypocritical figure was sa ensem we nyina emu. But then ye hwe baby a ebekwa kodu after 2 weeks no Abronye ebekwa kopie mu court biem na update ebeba no ye de ebeba besom ahwefo now ye